soldiers than you did.
All right, y'all, welcome to another video. So we are upgrading here in 2025. So Coffee TV's coming. I had already did a little bit of an explanation video on my Patreon, what the heck you're gonna be getting on Coffee TV. So I'll just give you a quick view at it. Basically, of course, it's going to be somewhat of a Patreon exclusive. Here and there, I might drop a freebie on YouTube and so on, but ultimately, the whole point of Coffee TV is to create proper optics, right? There are no good optics in the indie space, right? You've got people in their garage, people in the basement, people in the treehouse, right? Drinking a whole liquor bottle while they telling you about comics, rusty, crusty hairline. Dudes like Sean James, basically, just sitting and rocking on that chair for 30 years with curtains so jacked up, you think the nigga stole it from a damn trap house. So that's what I'm trying to get rid of. I am trying to build an image that those who are in the indie space have a form of self-respect. They're not just people in the damn garage, right, with their damn slippers on, okay, eating 10,000 burgers. Nah, there's actually some people who are doing the work, but also take care of themselves, and they care about optics. So I'm going to do my best to create this visual studio aesthetic with Coffee TV, just so people can see that, all right, so this is what the indie space is. Oh, okay, I thought it was just a desert. I thought it was just a cave. I thought it was just a trap house, because as it is right now, legit, it is a trap house. Legit, it's an abandoned building, just like the video I released last week. So what you get is Coffee News studio style, meaning I'm gonna be on the camera. So all the hunchbacks who said, I want to see his face, I want to see his face, even though you can go find my face, bro. You won't see my face, bro. Okay, you happy now? Manga Plus creator reviews. Those, I'm going to be doing these monthly. So the top two, I will review the winners on Manga Plus creators. And now we know it's a scam, we know it's all jacked up, but hey, people like those, I might as well do it. Cinematic art philosophy videos. Now that's something similar to what I did last week with the whole cinematic thing about the indie space has no direction, is a wasteland basically. Art documentaries. Now it's going to be very hard to shoot a documentary here in the motherland because a lot of these niggas ain't doing much. But I'll do my best with whom I can find. And a bit of art vlogs. If I have anything cool going on, then I'm going to make a vlog about it, right? So at the end of the day, we upgrading up in here. So Coffee TV should be launching around mid-April. So stay tuned for that. You go on Patreon and subscribe over there so you can get, with that $3, this is all you get. You get the full coffee roast, you get the full interviews, other manga analyses, and of course my rants about here and there. It's a good deal, some good caffeine, right? Otherwise you're gonna be stuck rewatching some videos here. But anyway, today we're talking about the coffee ranking system. You see, a few people was like giving me a backhanded compliment, of course, right? They would glaze my work and then slap me in the face at the exact same time. They would say my stuff is D rank or B rank art and story, blah, 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 but they be fumbling around, right? They don't know what the F they're talking about. So I'm like, you know what? From now on, when I do a review for you guys, I'm going to show you what rank you fall under. Now, there can be people, such as myself, who fall into multiple ranks, where you're not entirely in just the D rank or A rank, but you have a bit of here and there. So this, I recommend y'all take a screenshot of these ranking systems so that when you work on your stuff, You work in the understanding that, oh, these are the things wrong with my work. Let me quickly fix it, you know. And it's really simple, really. Like I think this is going to help a lot of people out to know where you stand, because clearly a lot of people cannot objectively judge their own work, right? Even when I tell them, take your work, put it right next to your favorite work and see how well it holds up. That's all you got to do. But still, hunchbacks are complaining that that doesn't make any sense. So we have D rank here that I'm going to explain: C rank, B rank, A rank, and S rank. Now, I know many mother suckers are going to say, bro, this is all subjective. You're lying. You're this, you're this. That's why I said this is the coffee ranking system. You ain't going to get another rubric anywhere else. You're going to be walking around blindfolded, right? Looking for a direction. You ain't going to find it outside of Coffee Comics. This is the sanctuary. This is the haven for all indie creations. Finish and law. Ain't nothing but the caffeine up in here. You ain't gonna find it anywhere else. So anyway, so for D rank, I specifically chose the images of Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan. Now, for those who might deem D rank, right? This is entry level. This is entry level. This is the bare minimum. Now, Demon Slayer is atrocious in story and art, but this ranking system is specifically just for the art, not the story. Of course, Demon Slayer, like most manga, will have some nice panels here and there, but ultimately, as a completed package, it's very inconsistent and ultimately a terrible experience. Attack on Titan's manga story was amazing before the ending, right? But the art has always been totally jacked up, right? So let's look at the characteristics of D rank art. And if you're honest with yourself, you're going to be like, I think that's my work over there, and so on. So characteristics. The positives of being in the D rank, this is the bare minimum. Usually you have a unique style, right? It's really unique. It's well rendered. Now, look at how premium the rendering of Attack on Titan is, right? Very premium, understanding of light and shadow and so on. Great composition. Now, Attack on Titan has great art direction, great use of composition, camera angles, you name it. Panel flow as well, very good. This is the bare minimum if you qualify as a D rank, right? You've got to have a unique style. It has to be polished, well rendered. The composition got to be proper. The contrast has to be on lock. And the panel flow just got to flow well, right? Now, both Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer have these positives, right? Demon Slayer's contrast game is very good. It's very good. The artist knows what she's doing. And those who understand that they're actually lacking here and there in their skills, they know how to compensate. You see, they know how to compensate for their weaknesses. So an example would be Attack on Titan, because the character designs are kind of awful in the manga style compared to the anime. So the author tries to compensate with all kinds of toning. All that gray action sometimes is overwhelming, but it's his attempt to give more life, form, and mood to the overall experience, because you would be rather turned off if there was less toning than there is, right? So the negatives is poor anatomy. Attack on Titan's anatomy, the heads are sometimes enormous, right? The noses are sometimes all kinds of jacked, right? There's something wrong here and there with Attack on Titan majority of the time, including Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer's proportions, when it comes to their anatomy, they look like bobblehead toys. You know, the artist usually doesn't draw the characters as full body because they look like balloons, like balloon characters that are short. They look like midgets, even though it's like an adult They look like midgets. Their proportions are all the same. You can't really tell that this is the proportions of an old man, a young man, a boy, a child, a woman, and so on. They all got this plastic bubble balloon style proportions, which jacks up the experience. However, because of its rendering, right, and the polishing and the aesthetics, it can cover up all those things I just mentioned to those who only read for dopamine's sake. For those who don't want to waste their time and who have self-respect, they ain't gonna read this because they're gonna see it and be like, man, I ain't reading no balloon characters running around, right? Negative number 2, bad facials. By that I mean bad facial expressions. Now, Attack on Titan's facial expression, it is just terrible. And Demon Slayer, of course. I have seen amongst the indie people I have reviewed, some of y'all also have, I don't want to say bad, but I don't want to say terrible, but bad facial expressions. You know, you don't really sell the emotion that the character has on his face. A lot of people struggle doing that, right? So that's something to pay attention to. Inconsistencies. So by that, such as the character designs might actually look like a different person drew that character in that panel, right? This happens a lot in Demon Slayer, I've noticed. I'm like, is that really that character? Why does he look so different here? Why does she look so different here? You know, such inconsistencies are a bore. And too scratchy. Attack on Titan can be scratchy, you know, including Demon Slayer here and there, but specifically for those in the indie space now, a lot of y'all got some scratchy chicken scratch action going, right? You got to work on your lines, bro. Stop inking like somebody's got a gun to your testicles. I mean, come on now, right? Take your time. But if you don't want to take your time, you need to apply passable, right? That's what it was made for. And the last negative is it's too gray. Attack on Titan is too gray. The dude's trying to compensate, but this also goes to the indie producers here. Y'all got all kinds of gray action, right? Trying to polish a turd is not going to make your stuff better. You need to just fix the bad anatomy and the bad facial expressions, right? Well, fix all the negatives, really. But above all else, I always tell people, you got to know who you are inspired by. You want to draw stuff blindfolded based on memory of an anime you watched 10 years ago, and now you want to do this as something rather serious, but you don't really have a proper foundation. Like, bruh, you got to have a foundation. Pick 3 of your favorite artists and make sure you mold your style around those 3. That's what I did, right? I liked 7 Deadly Sins' art style, Dragon Ball, and Berserk. I'm not saying I'm on Berserk level, right? But people can see the Berserk aesthetic. There's a difference, right? And of course, by the end of this video, I'll tell you what rank I fall under. So this is C rank. Now, some hunchbacks are gonna be like, how dare you put Toriyama as C rank? Nigga, shut the F up. Toriyama is C rank. Sorry. He's C rank, and it is what it is. That doesn't mean that it's terrible. No, it just means it's C rank, right? Ultimately, is it entertaining? Yes. Is it cool? Yes. But it's not as great as the other stuff we've seen, right? So this is C rank. And the positives of C rank, the characteristics of it is ultra stylized, intense action, iconic designs, and very detailed backgrounds. Now, for me, I would say, because I said I'm inspired by 7 Deadly Sins artistically and Dragon Ball, I would say I fall under C rank, right? C rank in terms of the proportions especially. The way I draw my proportions, it's very much so stylized, right? Very much so stylized. Dragon Ball centered, seven deadly sins centered, and so on. The negatives, though, sometimes, like in Dragon Ball, the later chapters of the Dragon Ball manga, Dragon Ball Z, Toriyama, I suppose, was not feeling it anymore. But his style was very strong. So the negatives of C rank artists sometimes is that they will rely on their iconic style and abandon proportions and anatomy and a few muscle groups that are supposed to be here, but he puts them there. Seven Deadly Sins does this a lot, actually. You just have to pay close attention because I've been consuming the art for that, studying it, and I look at something like a leg. I'm like, this leg don't make no sense though, right? This neck don't make no sense, like a neck longer than a giraffe. But how did the editor allow this to happen? Well, they allowed it to happen. That's the negative about C rank artists, is that they can get lost in their own stylization and abandon proper proportions. Another negative is repetitive designs. Now, when you look at Dragon Ball Z's art style, you basically, all the Saiyans have the exact same face and the exact same eyes. That's what I mean by repetitive designs. You see at the bottom underneath Goku here, I put Fairy Tail. Lisa and Lucy over here. All the Fairy Tail characters who are young or who are good guys literally have the same face. Same face, same head, same proportions, all of them. All of them. That's rather repetitive and annoying, you see. So that's another problem with C rank artists, is that, dude, don't have repetitive designs, okay? Just don't be lazy. Now, Seven Deadly Sins and the sequel to Seven Deadly Sins, the repetitiveness is also, it's not as much as Dragon Ball Z, but it's there, here and there, like the eyes, you know. If you look at the character here, these two have the exact same eyes, right? But this one, its uniqueness can make a lot of the mistakes very forgiving because it's got this ultra high fantasy aesthetic that you're like, it's okay type thing. So I would say I fall under C rank, right? C rank. Do I have, though, iconic, detailed backgrounds? See, this is the part where I say you can be here and over there at the same time because I'm applying passable. I don't have detailed backgrounds because I don't need them and I don't have the time for it. I don't want to burn out. So you work within the circumstance. If your circumstance does not allow you, right? The circumstance does not allow you to go in 1,000,000% because you won't burn the heck out, then you need to apply passable, right? Do I have intense action? Well, I'm a lot better at action now than I used to be. So only time will tell as to the level of intensity my action will have in the future. But ultimately, my style very much so is a resemblance of Dragon Ball and Seven Deadly Sins. So I'm like, okay, C rank it is. Let's go to B rank. So for B rank, I specifically chose Black Clover and Naruto. Now look at the positives over here. Excellent anatomy, perfect lines, minimal tones. Now Naruto's anatomy, for me, honestly, it's perfect. It's not detailed, but the proportions are perfect. The hands are perfect. You know, it's got a form of realism to the proportions, and so it's perfect. When it comes to Black Clover, I would say the anatomy is perfect as well. There's a bit of stylization, just a little bit, in the way he draws hands, noses, and sometimes the chin of the characters. right? But ultimately, it's like a stylized version of Naruto's art style, right? But its lines are perfect and precise. There aren't many tones. It's used appropriately. So yeah, that's B rank for you. Its negatives, however, it lacks the lack of strong visual style and appeal. Now, Naruto in the beginning, when we were kids, was very appealing because it was the first of its kind. Now we're grown, and now some of us are producers. And we have to admit that, it doesn't have much of a strong visual impact, the character designs, right? If anyone thinks of a female in Naruto, who's the first character that comes to your mind? Yeah, for me, it's Tsunade. Who's number two? Hinata. Why? Because there's a little bit of stylization there and amplification in proportions there, right? And we know why. All that butter, right? So that's the thing with Naruto, is that its appeal, it's really minimum. And like volume 1 to 10 of Naruto's art was straight up D rank. Naruto was straight up D rank in art from volume 1 to 10. In fact, I could stretch that. I would say from volume 20, after the Gaara arc in the manga, yeah, that's when the art like really went up there to B rank. It then became ultra stiff heading towards the end. I'm sure the dude was burnt out, but ultimately it still deserves to stay at B rank, right? But its visual appeal just ain't it, right? Black Clover as well. Visual appeal, visual impact. Now its action scenes can be, it's empty slop, honestly. Black Clover, they don't mean anything. There's no substance behind it. It's all just power up, power up, power up, demon power up type thing. So, good grief. It's got a lot of disposable characters. Black Clover. There's a lot of disposable characters, a lot of designs that you can tell that we're never going to see this character ever again, just by looking at him, right? There's just that thing about it. And so that destroys their appeal. It doesn't have a very striking visual style. If you guys watch the Black Clover anime, the art style was so weird compared to the manga. It's like, I don't get it. Who did the designs for this? Because the proportions look really different to the manga. I know some can say, well, that always happens in anime. Bruh, shut the F up, okay? Let's go to A rank. Now, I know somebody gonna complain like, how dare you put Berserk at A rank? Man, this is the coffee ranking system, all right? It's at A rank along at Bleach. Now, there are no negatives here. I didn't put any negatives, right? So A rank, the positives are excellent anatomy, iconic designs, master of manga. And by master of manga, what I mean is the artist knows the craft very well and can experiment and succeed with their experiments, right? Amazing facial expressions, kings of contrast, and skillful use of line work. Now, with Bleach, that line work always precise and clean. With the contrast game in Bleach, it's, bro, Tide Kubo is a master, it just isn't as detailed as Berserk. But I would say they have the same power level. It's just Berserk has more detail, right? Making it obviously above because it's got more ingredients. With Berserk, what I mean by skillful use of line work, look at the amount of different line techniques that are always applied in the Berserk manga, even in the coloring, right? Look at these lines, the cross hatching over here, using what looks to be like colored pencil and Copics, right? Even in the inks, how he renders the cape, the black cape, and so on. All kinds of scenes that you can just look at in Berserk and you're like, damn, the rendering of this thing is Omega Shenron, right? Now in the indie space, I have not seen anybody who got this level of sauce yet. If there is, well, I suppose they still rendering page 3 after 6 years. And that's what I'm talking about. This is why you need passable. You can't achieve Berserk's level because you live in the real world and you're outside of Japan. You got to go work at flipping Popeyes, right? Make that chicken and sell it to the niggas, and then you can go home and work. But you're mostly too tired, so you're gonna have to apply passable to get the bare minimum done. That is not the sacrifice of professional standards, it's the simplification of professional standards, right? So this is A rank. And the last one, S rank, characteristics are pretty much the same. The only thing I added here was insane perspective. Now, I chose specifically Air Gear, the artist being Oh Great, who also created Tenjo Tenge, and a bunch of other new manga he's got doing right now. This guy is a monster. This guy, some of y'all might be like, why didn't you put Boichi here? Sorry, I don't think Boichi can do this type of perspective. This guy has done flipping dark arts on the paper. I don't know how the hell he has done what he's done, but it's like, bro, did you make a deal with the devil or something and he gave you superpowers to draw like this? It is insane. This guy is beyond. He is beyond. He is manga itself, artistically, right? He is manga itself, right? So I know for a fact I will never reach S rank because the circumstance does not allow it. And 90% of you will never reach S rank either. But of course, we all work towards to reach S rank. Now, in the characteristics of S rank, there are some things that you can take and apply to what you might have in your D rank or C rank, right? You might want to take like the amazing facial expressions, right? Or you might want to take the insane perspective. Good luck with that. Just try to take something from S rank and apply it to whatever rank you fall under, right? So going forward, from now on, part of my reviews will include what rank you fall under in, right? So for me, I said I'm C rank, right? Thanks to the proportions and stylization. But my B rank part, the part that I fit in B rank, I would say my lines. See, my lines are very clean. I don't want to say perfect because sometimes I purposely make them imperfect, but my lines are B rank level, right? And that's pretty much it. So I have a bit of C rank and B rank. So mother suckers were like, oh, well, you just B rank. So what? Like legit, so what, nigga? As long as the product is being finished and being sold. Mother suckers out here want to treat people like, nah, you gotta be S rank. Well, we can see Oh Great being S rank. Is he outselling One Piece? What rank is One Piece? One Piece is straight up C rank with a little bit of D rank. In fact, you know what? It's One Piece is D rank with a bit of C rank. That's it. That's it. It's the best-selling manga in the universe. So let's please forget the whole notion of like, you can't talk because your stuff ain't Omega Shenron, your stuff ain't S rank. Well, neither is Oda. Neither was Demon Slayer, and it sold like 200 million copies. Give me a break. See, people who say that, they don't really have an argument. They don't know what the F they talking about. They just mad that I just came out of nowhere and said what I said. And they just want to throw a slammer on me to make me shut up. Nah, bro. You shut up. Because clearly, those that have S rank level art does not mean it's going to sell like 1 million copies. No, it doesn't. It's all about luck at the end of the day, and it's all about timing. at the end of the day. For those who are still lollygagging, drinking Jack Daniels, sitting down, doing the F nothing, y'all are gonna get left behind. Already you've been left behind. You know what? The bus is gone, bro. The bus is gone. Those of you who are relying on working with other people to finish a manga, like getting an artist, bruh, no artist wanna work with you now because they're gonna be like, nigga, you can't pay my bills, right? Food more expensive right now. You were supposed to establish a business relationship earlier on before people turned into what they are now, which is paranoid and traumatized people, right? Thanks to the fudgery that is happening in the world right now, how can people not be paranoid and all kinds of traumatized? And you want to know who lives their life every single day on paranoia and trauma? Yeah, people in the third world country. That's why they can't build nothing, because they constantly in a state of trauma and paranoia. And if you're paranoid, you can't trust your neighbor. You're most likely gonna go steal his oranges because you think he's gonna steal your grapes. So you'd be like, no, let me go steal them oranges because I know that nigga was eyeing my grapes. Next thing you know, both of y'all's garden has been pillaged and you both starved to death because of your senseless paranoia, right? So it's all your fault. That's all I'm saying. If you ain't got no product and you ain't finished nothing in like since 2023, bro, you're not gonna finish anything. You're not gonna finish anything at all. You might as well just hang it up. It's okay even. It's okay, bro. It's okay. It's okay to hang it up and let it go, man. Maybe this just wasn't for you. You just doing this for fun? Okay, then don't yap as if you're taking it seriously. Don't participate in the community as if you're taking it seriously. You're just a spectator. Make it clear that you're a spectator and a supporter of those who are participating in this grand battle against demoralization. All right. So anyway, this is the new coffee ranking system. Take them screenshots, y'all. Take them screenshots and be honest with yourself and look where you fall under. If your art is worse than Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan, that means you fall under F. Forget E. F. Failure. Fail. Complete failure, right? So you gotta be honest, man. Look at your stuff. Demon Slayer is the bare minimum. It's the bare minimum, right? It's the bare minimum. You got to be as good as the artist of it or better. That is the bare minimum. And of course, if you apply the Trinity, which is basically the format of manga production, that's going to help beef up the overall look and feel of your manga ManaA, right? To look like Demon Slayer or better. Never forsake the Trinity, the format of manga production. You can't just take an A4 paper and start drawing on it. No, because when people read it, they're gonna feel something is off, right? I had a bunch of motherfuckers tell me that long ago. Yeah, man, I try to read your stuff, man, but something's just off, man. I just can't. That was the first edition of Bloody Hell before the remaster, right? So stay tuned for Volume 3, digital version coming out this month. The physical versions of Volume 1, 2, and 3 should be out in June. Obviously on Coffee TV, I will be recording the book launch because I'll be able to order the books at my local bookstore. So that's going to be cool. It's going to be a nice experience. And I am obviously going to be tweaking some more things before the physicals come out, fixing whatever mistakes that were there and so on. Gotta make sure that a dude goes all out. 3 books. I got 3 books, people, in less than 5 years, unlike White Wanga and a bunch of other people who just sitting there yapping on Twitter and doing nothing. Right? 3 books. Will I finish Volume 4 this year? No idea. Maybe not, but we'll see. But ultimately, I can look at everything done thus far and be like, he ain't do too bad, man. He didn't do too bad for you. But yeah, until next time.